It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk, featuring in-depth interviews from those who are trending in the world of athletics. And now, here's the host of Brandon Sports Talk, Brandon Pate.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege to interview Emily Almond, who is the Durham Bulls Director of Promotions. How are you doing today?
I'm good, Brandon. Thanks for having me on the show.
You're welcome. Can you talk about how you knew that you wanted to work in professional sports?
Sure. So as a young kid, I grew up in kind of a sports background. My family is actually went on vacation to baseball stadiums. So we were super lucky to do that. And I grew up in kind of a fast-paced environment. And my hometown was a tourist destination. So I grew up working in kind of that fast summer type environment, which kind of translated well into sports. So I've really just grew up loving sports and wanted to get into it and kind of continue that what I've had been doing for my entire life. So yeah, that's how I ended up here.
What was your time like working with the Carolina Panthers as a corporate hospitality game day?
Yeah, so I did that my senior year of college, and it was just a great opportunity. I was able to do quite a bit, meet a bunch of people in their marketing department, marketing and hospitality. I did kind of the more mundane tasks of like reaching out to PSL holders, writing them birthday cards, just kind of maintaining that point of contact. And I was also, I would say, kind of in charge of Kids Club. So any kids that signed up for the Panthers Kids Club, I would put together their welcome packet and send out to them. So that was a majority of my responsibilities there. And then also working game days in the corporate hospitality department. So making the premium tents outside for kind of like the pregame tailgate, and doing that setup and breakdown. And it was just a really cool opportunity to meet people, higher ups in Charlotte, as well as kind of network and get my foot in the door with the Panthers.
What was your time like with the City Goodyear as the ballpark marketing and promotions intern?
Yeah. So I did spring training there in 2017. And it was honestly that really kicked off my career in baseball. I learned so much. And at the ballpark, they only had 6 full-time employees. So interns really helped to kind of create the show for spring training. So spring training, we were the home of the Cleveland Indians and the Cincinnati Reds. So working with both big league ball clubs, I feel like it's a perfect mix of working Major League Baseball and minor league baseball, because you're working obviously with, at that time, 2 major league teams in what was like a minor league ballpark in a minor league setting. You're still trying to get fans to come out that may not necessarily care about the team and the players, from Arizona. And then you're also having people traveling from Cleveland and Cincinnati. So it was a really great opportunity to just kind of see all facets of the sport, how our marketing efforts and community outreach efforts tied to ticket sales, tied to just getting people interested in the game, especially kids. We did a lot of work with local schools and working with kids there and getting them out at the ballpark and just kind of having them interact with major league players that they may then follow for the rest of their lives. So I think that really, it was definitely a grind. 33 games in 33 days with no time off was pretty intense, but it was probably one of the best experiences of my life.
What was your time like with the Selma Sox as the promotional assistant?
Yeah, the Salem Red Sox was, it was great. That was the first like full-time seasonal position that I'd had. So just kind of expanding more on my background in marketing. I did a little bit of everything there, from community outreach to promotions to social media, just regular marketing, email marketing, advertising. Just having a hand in everything really helped me to kind of culminate what I was learning and put it into play. And it was just a great experience where, once again, meeting a lot of people, networking with people, building my repertoire, and just kind of asserting my leadership qualities that then helped me to further my career with where I'm at now with the Bulls.
Can you talk about, of course, what are some things that you didn't know before becoming a pro a marketing person with the Bulls, and also promoting and stuff like that?
Yeah, so I think it's just kind of trial and error, figuring out what works and what doesn't work. So I think a big thing is theme nights, things that you think are going to go well and then don't end up having the turnout that you want, or you end up with bad weather and you have to kind of pivot around that and still make it a great experience for people that are here. I think before getting into baseball, I just didn't realize, spring training was one thing that was obviously in sunny Arizona where it never rains. And that was a month-long grind, whereas being in Salem was, the complete opposite. Like, it rained all the time and it was 8 months of that. So just learning how everything stops, and you kind of have to adapt to the situation that you're in. As for marketing, I think it's something that I've kind of been training for since I went to college. That was, you learn the basic marketing principles and then sport marketing principles and see how they actually apply in real life. You put out a promotion, you get ticket sales based off of that promotion, and you're able to see your return on investment, and just getting people inside the ballpark. So I think just kind of seeing that grow year after year, internship after internship, has been a really cool experience. And then 2019 with the Bulls, we hit a sellout record of 12,000 people in stadium, for one of our games. And it's just kind of cool to really see all of your hard work pay off in one place.
That's amazing. What is the day in the life of a director of marketing for the Durham Bulls?
So right now it's a little crazy. It's kind of an all hands on deck thing. So I have taken over a little bit more responsibility than just my role as the director of promotions. So things I'm typically responsible for are, controlling our game operations and production room, planning out theme nights, managing our seasonal staff, just kind of being a part of the organization as a whole and figuring out, what we're going to do to get people in seats and to sell tickets and to entertain our fans. I work very closely with our sponsorship activation team, and just kind of getting those activation elements set for the season. And then during the game, I will be in our game operations room, kind of directing the game. This year, I've also taken on some responsibilities of marketing, advertising, email marketing, helping to manage our department. Just some more broad, helpful tools as we're trying to navigate these, crazy times of a new player development license, with Major League Baseball, and coming out of the pandemic and trying to have minor league baseball again here in Durham.
Can you talk about, of course, what is the process of marketing a team like Durham Bulls?
Yeah. So I think the main thing is we obviously we're in a larger market. We have a pretty good following because the Bulls organization has been in Durham since 1902. Not always the Durham Bulls, but there has always been, affiliated professional baseball in Durham for over 100 years. So we have that kind of long history to help us out to begin with, coupled with obviously the movie made about our team. That always helps. But I think the big thing is now we're just having to find ways to engage fans that may not necessarily, one, know who we are, two, know about the movie, or three, care about baseball. We just want people to genuinely enjoy being out at the DBAP, whether that's a time with their friends or family or on a date or whatever that is. So I think we've kind of put ourselves more into the entertainment memory making business category rather than sports. Obviously, we're still all about baseball, but it's way more about the fan experience. So that's been our focus in getting people back here, is how can we make this the best experience possible? What are people concerned about? Are they concerned about cleanliness? Are they concerned about us going cashless? Are they concerned about social distancing inside the seating bowl? We know they're going to want to be entertained when they get here. So I think it just all goes into how can we take what we normally do and, number one, make it safe, and number two, make it better. We're working with a lot of guidelines this year, and just kind of trying to navigate all of those guidelines and still make the show the best that it can be for our fans.
What are some of the promotions that you have done in the past and future promotions you plan on doing this upcoming year?
Yeah, so I don't want to spoil too much because we have some good stuff coming up this year, but our big theme nights in the past have been obviously Star Wars. We've done a Stranger Things night for the last few years. So actually the Duffer brothers that wrote Stranger Things are from Durham. So we have that tie in there. And then Hawkins, Indiana, the place in the show, is based off of Durham. So there's a lot of tie in there that we've really been able to play off of. And it's been a huge success for the previous 2 seasons that we did it. So I would say those are our 2 big ones. In-game promos, everyone loves the Woolly skits. I think our biggest, probably my favorite promotion that we do is mini Woolies. So our mascot Woolly Pool takes out a bunch of kids dressed up like him, and they go around the infield, messing with umpires, messing with players in between innings. So I think it's just a fun, engaging tidbit that all of our fans watch. Yeah.
What is something that you learn now that you didn't know before becoming a director of promotions and marketing?
It takes a lot of growth, and you have to assert your authority. I think, being in more of a leadership role now, I've had to learn to, number one, not take things personally. Oftentimes when I'm getting feedback, it's not, an attack on me personally. It's just trying to help me get better, trying to help our organization get better. And I think that's been a big learning curve, is just kind of taking that and growing and asking the question, how can our department become better? So that's, I ask my team that every single day. What can we do to be better today, tomorrow, next week, this season, next year? That, and then also just kind of taking initiative and showing your authority on things. So, I'm kind of the head of our marketing department right now, and just taking initiative on that when I'm in conversations with other departments. I know the most about our department in a group of other directors. So I think it's just kind of being willing to speak up and share my ideas and know that we know what we're doing.
When it comes to being the director of marketing for the Durham Bulls, can you talk a little bit about the process of branding the Durham Bulls and what that was like?
So honestly, it's been pretty easy. We've had the same brand for forever. And our D logo is an iconic brand throughout probably the world because of the movie. So it's a lot of we have a lot of rules surrounding our logo just because the Durham Bulls brand is so well recognized. So it's really cool to have come in for an iconic brand and be able to use something that people already know and make it better. We have variations of the bull, like a Bull City logo, which is representative of the Durham community. So we've used that for our community efforts over the last year because we really focused on that in 2020. That was pretty much all we could do. So we relied very heavily on that branding during the last year, as well as just being able to create kind of new marketing messaging and a new framework for us in the future. Our big thing that we're trying to hit home in 2021 is our campaign, The Bulls Brought Me Back. And that's just welcoming our fans back inside the stadium for baseball or any other special event. We are really excited to have people back here, welcome them back, and just wanting them to feel welcome, feel safe, feel comfortable, and have fun.
That's amazing. What advice would you give upcoming future people looking to get into baseball on the promotion side and marketing side, along with branding?
Yeah, I would say just keep working hard. That's, my motto is to always give it your best, always give 100%, because it follows you wherever you go. So being willing to work, always being willing to learn new things, teach yourself. I recommend to every single person I talk to that wants to get into marketing to teach themselves the Adobe Creative Suite. I think that is probably the best tool that you can have getting into marketing, even if you're in social media or if you're in marketing advertising. You don't have to be a graphic designer to know how to use Photoshop. And I think that's the biggest, actual tool that you can use. But just being willing to learn, being willing to do anything and support your organization, because sport organizations are a family. It's an all hands on deck type thing. And if you're not willing to do that, then most likely you're not going to fit in well and you probably won't last. So that's my recommendation, is just make sure that it's something you really want to do and then give it your all.
That's amazing. Where can my listeners find you at on social media, along with the Durham Bulls at?
Yeah, so I am at Almond Emily on all social media, as well as on LinkedIn. And my email with the Bulls is ealmond@durhambulls.com.
Thank you again, Emily, for your interview, and best of luck in your future with the Durham Bulls in this upcoming year.
Yeah, thanks, Brandon.
You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Facebook at Brandon Sports Talk, Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Emily, for your interview, and best of luck.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.